Coming to this fellowship was my first time out of the country, and it would be an understatement to say that I was excited. Living it up in Paris, sightseeing the Swiss Alps, or even laying on the local beaches here in Germany would be a dream come true. Of course, I was excited for this fellowship too, but I was fully ready to experience the beautiful weather Europe has to offer over the Atlantic Ocean, right? Wrong. What I got was rain, heavier rain, and you guessed it, even more rain. At some point in your life, you've probably been me. In fact, the United States Environmental Protection Agency points to scientific studies indicating weather events like heavy rain are becoming more frequent and intense due to human-induced climate change. For people like me, these are minor inconveniences, but for others, it's much more serious. This mix of extreme weather conditions damages communities on a daily basis, and this pileup of weather events impacts disadvantaged populations, making them even more marginalized than before. More importantly, it severely affects children in these impoverished areas. Child poverty is in itself a pressing challenge faced today, and it's estimated that 1 in every 3 children globally live in impoverishment and are exposed to high climate risk. But the long-standing question is, are these impacts expedited by extreme weather on the rise from climate change? This question was asked by researchers at Save the Children, UNICEF, and the University of Oxford, but they currently lack the tools necessary to study this question appropriately. That's what we as data scientists can provide. So, in collaboration with them, our mission is to research the connection between climate change and child poverty to build climate child resilience in the future through data analyses. In order to begin tackling this mission, we must first understand the 2 fundamental components we strive to connect: child poverty and extreme weather. First, let's take a look at child poverty. Current studies believe poverty strictly has to do with money, but it's actually more complex than that. UNICEF found there are 6 key areas indicative of measuring child poverty. They are housing, health, nutrition, sanitation, education, and water. Each of these 6 indicators can gauge how impoverished a family is, so we can identify those lacking most of these rights. The second component, extreme weather, is a bit more subjective. Some examples are major events that are more obvious than others, like floods, wildfires, or tornadoes. However, there are some examples of extreme weather events that are more frequent and becoming just as intense due to climate change, including heat waves, heavy rain, or droughts, just to name a few. For us to add the most added value to our partners and other researchers, we want to meet 3 criteria. Our approach is focused on providing a product that enables future research, gives insight into policy and current resource allocation, and can be scaled to several countries across the globe. Since we can't create a solution for all the countries at once, we must start somewhere. Due to its climate and geographical diversity, we focused on Nigeria for the first version of our product. In Nigeria, we acquired survey data conducted by the World Bank and weather data from open sources Copernicus and NASA. Now, using this data, what are the kinds of research questions that our dashboard product can help answer? For instance, take a concerned citizen in Nigeria who's wondering where heat waves are most prominent and if their area is at risk. Our dashboard takes in this inquiry and returns appropriate visualizations. Our dashboard's main priority is information accessibility for those who may not be as technologically sound. Another question can come from our researcher friend Oliver from Save the Children, who's curious on where educational rights are the most deprived in Nigeria over previous years. Our dashboard can help identify these areas that see the most amount of impoverishment in these categories. Or we can take some policy analysts. I'm not a policy analyst, but our friends William and Hernando from the University of Oxford are. They're interested in knowing how extreme rainfall interacts with child poverty in Nigeria. Our dashboard can also show certain areas of Nigeria where both extreme rainfall and child poverty are most persistent in one simple manner. To support broader sets of research, the second part of our dashboard works to enrich geographical data with certain weather features, having a special emphasis on extreme weather events. If you take another survey in Nigeria that has information on several households like income or nutritional details,
Our tool will provide the weather information for those particular geolocations and households, and a plethora of climate indicators like drought or heat wave indices. Impacting the future of climate and poverty research, our dashboard emphasizes data accessibility, data awareness, and the foundations for future research. We're happy to provide an ease of access, easy to use platform that highlights the need for change. But it's not just our partners who can help in this mission. Our dashboard will become open source and available for all to use at your own discretion, which means data analysts, climate scientists, policymakers, and even you can contribute in the research efforts in combating child poverty, working to establish a better tomorrow. My name is Trey, and this summer I worked with fellow teammates Jama, Moshood, Prahitha, and Shikhar under the management of Julia, Gernot, Andrea, and Sebastian to bring you this solution. Also with William, Hernando, Oliver, and Enrique from UNICEF, Save the Children, and the University of Oxford. We're excited to show you our product and talk more about this project with you all later. Thank you.